Good morning. Good morning. Let me wipe my screen off. Good morning. I have a lot on my mind this morning. But first, I need to put on my rosacea medicine because my face is breaking out like crazy from my rosacea. I went, I think, a week with no rosacea medicine, and it caused my face to break out. If you have rosacea, God bless you. I didn't even know I had rosacea. I didn't even know what it was until about a couple of months ago. But it's this compound. I got it from my dermatologist because my face kept breaking out. And I'm like, why do I look like a 16-year-old? She goes, because you have rosacea. Those are rosacea bumps. What? This whole time, my face has been broke out. The whole time it's been rosacea. I thought it was my hormones. I didn't know what it was. And she's like, oh no, Judy, you have rosacea. You see your red cheeks? You see how you get fire engine red? I thought it was my anxiety. Cause like all of a sudden I can like just be sitting here and all of a sudden I turn fire engine red. And I thought this whole time, because it would embarrass me, like when I would go live and my face would be fire engine red. I thought maybe I wasn't breathing right and I was getting anxiety and it was causing like a flare up or something. I didn't know. And then I thought maybe it's menopause. Maybe like my face is fire engine red because I have menopause. I was blaming it on everything, not really understanding what was going on. And then finally, when I went to the dermatologist after 7 years, she was like, no, your face is red and breaking out because you have rosacea. I'm like, well, how do I fix it? And she said, I can call it. She said, there's 3 medications that you use for rosacea. And we could go through the process to figure out which one's going to work with your skin, and it'll be a process. Or we can do this compound where we put all 3 medications in one cream and it'll work. And I'm like, bring it on. The only thing that's bad is this medicine's like 60 something dollars a month. But hey, if it'll not make me look like a 16-year-old and have face breakouts, bring on the $64. Because my face is awful. And then I thought, is it because I have big pores? Is my face breaking out because I work on the farm and I'm getting dirt in my pores? And maybe I'm not, cleaning my skin right. I started getting facials. I've never had facials a day in my life. I'm not that bougie. And so I was like, if I go get facials and get her to tell me what kind of, maybe I'm allergic to the cleanser that I'm using, but I've tried every cleanser in the world. And she was like, it's definitely your cleanser. So then I have to spend like, I don't know, hundreds of dollars on this cleanser that she's recommended that will clear up my face. And the whole time it was rosacea. The things that you do when you're trying to figure out what's wrong with you. It's almost like you have to be an advocate for yourself because everybody will diagnose you with some crap and you think they're right. And you're like, Diane, I'm out of foundation. I need Diane to remind me to get foundation. If y'all don't know who Diane is, Diane was one of my followers, AKA backup dancers. And when I'd run out of makeup, I said, Diane, remind me to go get makeup because I couldn't remember. And then I'd come to put on makeup and I didn't have any. So she used to send me text message, don't forget your makeup. Don't forget your makeup. And she'd have to remind me like 10 times because I'm so dang ADHD that I can't remember to go get my makeup. And Diane passed away a year ago. I think it was on January 10th, a year ago. I'll never forget that phone call telling me she had passed away. It was unexpected, and I just sat here in shock. I was like devastated, devastated. So her anniversary is coming up, and I miss her so much. But you know what I'm thankful for is her family stays in contact with me. She has several sisters that follow me. And because Brenda Atkins and Barbara Dye, which are her sisters, I can't remember the other sister's name. What is her other sister's name? Anyway, they stay in touch with me, and I feel like Diane's right here with me. Diane turned them on to me. Diane was my little cheerleader. She told people about me. God love her. And she did that because for the longest time when I went live, it was just me and her. And I felt dumb. I'm like, Diane, no one cares about me. Like, it's just me and you. I can just call you on the phone. We can FaceTime, you know? And she was like, no, Judy, stay, please. I need you. And so I would stay because she would tell me that I was making a difference in her life. And so I stayed. And I'm glad I did. I am. Today, my brother and his family are coming over here, and I don't see them a lot. I'm very close to them. Like, his youngest son wants to FaceTime me all the time, and then his 15-year-old messages me every single day. And I talk to my brother multiple times a week, but I don't get to physically see them because they don't live close to me. And so they're coming over today because they have me a Christmas present. I'm one of those aunts. Let me back up a minute. Growing up, I had this aunt. It was my mom's sister. She was redheaded. She has the same exact personality as me. It's like we could have been twins. But she was like the aunt that figured out what I liked. And I was the only girl. And I loved jewelry growing up, and I loved girly stuff. So like I always got like a diamond watch. And it was like a real diamond watch. I didn't get like fake stuff. I mean, she would make sure, like, I don't know, she would always make sure that I got something special. And so it was so much fun being the only girl because I got spoiled rotten. Like, I was rotten. So I try to be the aunt that she was to me, to them. And also, my mom was like, she would have been the best grandmother in the world. But unfortunately, she got sick at a young age and was bedridden. And so she really couldn't be, the grandmother that goes, picks up the grandkids or things like that. So it's almost like I try to take up how do I put this? I try to be a good mixture of being an aunt and a grandmother to them. So oftentimes they get care packages from me, and y'all, I could send them crackers, peanut butter crackers in the mail, and they get ripped up excited. Like, they don't care what they get. But oftentimes I send them care packages. And like one time I sent them like a slip and slide for summer. And then I I often send them snacks. Like the youngest son, he is a pickle fanatic, and I bought one of those huge jars of pickles, and shipped it to him. And then because he's a pickle fanatic, I had to show him how to make pickles. So I sent him cucumber seeds and like for him to grow his own pickles. And so they were tickled pink to be able to grow their own cucumbers to make pickles. And I just am that kind of aunt. They get care packages from me a lot, especially like Valentine's Day. Every holiday, they get a care package from me. So I try to be that cool aunt / grandmother figure to them because they didn't really have a grandmother growing up. They really didn't, because my mom was sick and my sister-in-law's mom wasn't really involved. And they do have my stepmom, which is a great grandma to them, but she lives like 5 hours away. So she can't really be that rock star grandmother that comes to all the football games and baseball games and all that stuff. She really can't be that grandmother. But at Christmas, she always comes to visit them, and she's got a car full of gifts, and so she tries. But this year, they wanted to they buy me a gift every year for Christmas, my nieces and nephews. So they wanted to bring me my Christmas gift today. So they're coming over, and it's supposed to pour down rain. And I'm like, why does that happen every time my family comes over? Like, it pours down rain and we never get to go to the farm, But they have a farm themselves. And I can't decide if I want to tell y'all this. Y'all, I've been Little Miss Entrepreneur. Shane has been gone. I didn't tell y'all this, but he's been gone for maybe a week and a half, and I've been here by myself. I have no business having a farm by myself. No business. It's like when Shane leaves, everything goes wrong. And then I have to figure out how to fix it, and it stresses me out. But I've been by myself this whole time. And why did I tell y'all that? It sucks being ADHD. I don't remember why I told y'all that. But my brother, they have a farm, but they have horses. And she's wanting to start a nonprofit where kind of like what's it called? I almost said estrogen. Where the horses are therapy. I can't think of the word. Anyway, that's what she really wants to focus on. And back last year, her kids did an incubation project with me. So they have chickens. So she messaged me and she's like, Judy, I want to concentrate on the horses. Will you please take my chickens back? And I'm like, oh, Lord, Shane's going to kill me. Because they're like, I think there's 8 chickens. Well, I wasn't going to say no, so I took they're bringing the chickens to me today. But this is what I can't decide if I want to tell y'all or not, but I'm just going to tell you because I have a big mouth. You know how I am. Okay. They have this rooster. That's what I was talking about. I'm sorry. It just came to me. The reason I told you that Shane has been gone is because I've been this little entrepreneur and I've been filming like wildfire. Like normally I film in the moment. Y'all, I have like 3 videos out there just sitting. I'm like, what is wrong? Look at me go. Like I am being this little entrepreneur, Miss YouTube creator, just filming like crazy. And so because Shane's been gone, I have had nothing to do. So I have been filming and editing videos at night. So one of my videos that's coming up is the story I'm about to share with you. So anyway, they're bringing me these chickens. And my niece, the oldest daughter, she's I think she's 21. And so she goes, "Hey, Judy, I need to warn you about this rooster." And I'm thinking she's going to tell me that this rooster's mean as a snake, right? That's what I'm thinking. And she goes, "Okay, this rooster's name is Fred." And I said, "Okay." She's like, "Well, Fred doesn't know he's a rooster. He thinks he's a dog." Keep in mind, my 21-year-old niece is in agility. She trains dogs for a living. Like, she can train a dog to do anything. She was in the Olympics. She was in the Junior Olympics and went to Finland and competed and won 7th place out of everybody. She is amazing, which I've showed her on a video before. But she was telling me about this chicken named Fred. She was like, "Judy, Fred's special. He thinks he's a dog. He will not hang out with the chickens." And I was like, "What?" And she said, what he does is he will not sleep in the chicken coop. He will not hang out with the chickens. He comes to their door and pecks on the door he wants to be let in with like the dogs. I'm like, this is the perfect chicken for me. Oh my God. So they have this glass door, that's on their real door. And so the door's open so you can see inside the house. And Fred comes up and climbs up the steps and pecks on the window because he wants to be let in the kitchen with the with the dogs. And I'm like, this is the perfect chicken for me. I hope he does it here. Now, I don't have a glass door, and I don't have dogs running around my yard. So I don't know. I mean, I have cats. So I don't know what Fred's going to think. So I don't know if Fred's going to be happy being a chicken in the chicken yard. And I'm like, well, I want Fred to be happy. And I thought, I know my cats will not hurt Fred. Neither will the bunnies. And I thought about letting Fred live in the education center. But then I was like, chicken poo's going to be everywhere. But would it not be so cute if Fred lived in the education center and like thought he was a cat or a rabbit, or, I mean, he thinks he's a dog, but I would love to have a chicken that came and knocked on my door to come in the kitchen, because I so would let him in. Now, if Shane was home, Shane is not going to let Fred in the house. But Shane ain't here 90% of the time, so me and Fred can hang out in the kitchen and make cookies. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to meet Fred, and I meet Fred today. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Like I said, I don't have a glass door. And I'm like, does Fred need a glass door? Like, maybe I could have a glass door on the education center where Fred can knock on the door when he wants to come into the education center. But then I thought, if I get a glass door, you can't see my cute chicken that Susan painted on the door. Do y'all think Fred will stay the same at my house? I hope he does. I can't wait to meet Fred. I cannot wait. I just think it'll be so cool. Can you see him like walking in if he walked in my garage and started pecking on the door, my dogs would eat him. If I let him in the kitchen, those dogs are having chicken noodle soup for supper. They're going to eat him. So I would have to put the dogs in the crate to let Fred, because Fred's not going to be scared of the dogs because he's used to being around dogs. But these weedy dogs would have chicken noodle soup for lunch. They'd eat them. I see here going, how can I teach my weenies not to have chicken for lunch when Fred comes inside? How do I train the dog? How do I train a dog not to eat a chicken? A weenie dog at that. Maybe I should ask Chat GPT. How do you get your weenie dogs not to eat your chicken that comes and pecks on the door? Let me ask them. Where's my phone? Let's see what Chat GPT says. I have this pet rooster named Fred that pecks on the door to come inside to my kitchen. Unfortunately, I have 2 weenie dogs that want to eat them. Can you give me a suggestion on how to train these weenie dogs not to eat my chickens? Chat GPT's gonna go, girl, you done lost your mind. That chicken don't need to be in the kitchen. Fred should never be loose inside with the dogs. Even well trained dogs can snap on instinct. This protects Fred and keeps the dogs from learning bad habits. A screen door, a baby gate, or a Dutch door. What's a Dutch door? Fred visiting the kitchen only when dogs are crated or behind a gate. Training works best when mistakes are prevented. Put the dogs on a leash. Fred stays outside the door or behind a barrier. The moment dogs look at Fred calmly, reward them with a tiny treat or praise them. If they get fixated or whine, calmly move them further away from Fred. You are rewarding calm behavior, not excitement. Step 2. The dog, God, why is my phone blowing up? Your dog should respond instantly to leave it. I'm supposed to say, leave it. So they won't touch Fred. Practice this away from Fred first, then slowly add Fred into their view. If they can't obey the command without Fred, then they won't obey with Fred. Redirect. Weenie dogs need an outlet. Before Fred visits the door, play tug, toss a ball, do a short training session. A tired dog equals a thinking dog. So I need to wear their butt out. What not to do? Don't scold or yell when they react. Don't let Fred test them. Don't assume time alone will fix it. I would never leave Fred with my weenie dogs. Teach him. Oh, I got to teach Fred. Teach Fred a knocking clue. Or give him a designated window visit spot outside the kitchen. Oh, so they want Fred to come visit with Fred outside where the dogs can see Fred from the inside of the house to the outside of the house. So like Fred could come jump on the window and the dogs would lose their crap. And then finally the dogs would get used to Fred coming to visit the kitchen window is what I think it's saying. But see, my house is not like that. I will say, like when the peacocks have walked in the front yard when they used to free range, the dogs could see the peacocks and they would lose it. They would start barking at the peacocks like wildfire. That's how I always knew the peacocks were in the front yard. But this is my fear. If I let Fred just run around my yard without a fence, I have got neighbors, multiple neighbors that there's okay. I rectify one problem. Y'all know I went to court and I won and I got that problem resolved. Now there's a house up the road that have 2 boxer puppies, which we have found at our creek, and we took the do y'all remember the video? The puppy was at our creek, and we took the puppy to its home, and we're like, "We found this puppy," thinking they would be upset. Oh, no, they let the dogs free range, and the dogs are all over the neighborhood. As a matter of fact, I was coming home the other day and the dogs were in front of this lady's driveway and the lady could not get out of her driveway. She was sitting there beeping the horn and the 2 boxers, because they're now grown, are standing in front of her car and not letting her out of the driveway. And these dogs are running loose all the time. And I'm like, does anybody care that there's a farm down the road? Like, I cannot imagine letting my dogs out and knowing my dogs are in the middle of the road where they could get ran over. But apparently, people don't think like me. But I'm on here to tell you that they can go talk to my other neighbor because I mean business. When it comes to my animals, I will go all the way to the top. I will go to trial. Okay. That's how serious I am. I don't play when it comes to my animals. So I'm afraid that if Fred was in the front yard, that those 2 boxers would come and have their way with Fred, and I would just absolutely have a heart attack. I wished I was rich. If I was rich, if I hit the lottery, I would pay for a 12-foot fence to be put around my whole entire property to keep people from camping out in the back of our yard, to stray dogs not coming into our property, to people that I don't know pulling in my driveway. I would literally put up a 12-foot privacy fence all the way around my property to protect me and Shane and my animals if I was rich. But I don't play the lottery, so there's no way I could win. But if I was rich, that's what I would do. What's Fred gonna do? Am I gonna have to tell him he's a chicken? God love him. He's gonna be so upset when he finds out he's a chicken and not a dog. Poor Fred. And I'm scared. I mean, I could have Shane put it on my honey-do list. Have Shane build this incredible chicken thing in the corner of my education center, but it's gonna smell like poo in there. It's gonna create more work for me. And I mean, Fred is not gonna be happy living by. I guess he would be. Would Fred be happy living by himself with no? Chickens are. They stay in a flock, right? So, like, chickens don't like to be alone. So, why does Fred like to be alone? Well, I guess technically he's not alone because he's living with the dogs. He lives with agility dogs. I think they should have kept Fred. But this is what she told me. She said, Judy, let me tell you how bad it is. She said, when I come home to mom and dad's and I walk in the door, Fred is flying to get in the house. She said, if I'm not careful, Fred will go in the kitchen with us opening the door because he is dying to get in our house. Fred sounds like the coolest chicken to me. Oh my gosh. Fred sounds like a dream come true to me. Like if I had an animal, I think if I was single, and had all the money in the world, like, first of all, Freddie, my black pig, oh, he definitely would live inside. Freddie would live inside, and he would sleep in the bed with me. When it got cold outside, I I would bring all the animals in my house. I really would. And I'd clean up after them and not even care. I would I would be that girl. But Shane Snead would have a flipping heart attack if I brought Leroy into the house, you know? It's not a big deal to me. I'm like, dude, I can clean his poo up. I could train him. Hey, if I can train him, I can train my animals. Y'all know that. My animals are very trained. And so I could teach Leroy to potty outside. You know you can do that with a pig. Pigs are trainable. It don't take a pig long to learn. I can tell Freddie, I want you right here, and Freddie comes. Y'all know my pigs are trained. I can't wait to meet Fred. I can't wait to introduce y'all to Fred. It's like my dream chicken. But like I need another rooster. And you would think that Fred would want to be around the girls. You'd think he'd want to like have girlfriends and breed them. But instead, he'd rather hang out with the dogs. And he won't even sleep with the chickens. I'm like, where does he sleep? She goes, he finds somewhere outside to sleep. I'm like, God, he'd get killed here, you know? I feel like Fred needs a middle name. I'm glad they didn't call him Freddie because I already have a Freddie. I can't decide how to do my makeup. I feel like I need to go to a makeup artist. As I've gotten older, I don't know how to do my makeup anymore. It's just, y'all get like that. I'm blind in one eye, which is why both of my eyes are closed. I can't see out of that eye. So I have to go by feel. Oh, Fred. Fred and Judy are going to be BFF. That's all I can say. But you know, he might come here and change his personality because there's a lot of competition here. You know what I'm saying? Where they just have like 8 chickens and that's it. You know, he might change his personality. Wonder what he's going to be like. I told her to send me some pictures of her chickens. And they don't know what kind of chickens they got. You know, they're just like, I don't know, they're just plain chicken. But she sent me a picture, and one of them is a buff Brahma. And back when I first got chickens, I had this buff Brahma named Banjo. I don't know how long y'all been following me. I didn't even have YouTube back then, so y'all don't even know who Banjo was. But Banjo was a buff Brahma that was my BFF. So I've already decided that buff Brahma that's coming today, I'm naming it Banjo. I loved Banjo so much. Banjo would jump in my lap. Oh, she was so trained. And it was the craziest thing because when you have chickens, you have to be tough as nails because a chicken will die for no reason at all. Like, just no reason. It's like a constant battle with chickens. Like every time you turn around, You're like, who just sneezed? Who just sneezed? Like because you're paranoid because if one of them gets sick, it spreads like wildfire. So you have to be on top of your game when you have chickens. Well, Banjo, she was the best chicken. I love when I get like a pet chicken that loves me and like wants to come sit in my lap. That that makes my day. Okay. And so one day I got up and did chickens, which means I went to let them out, and Banjo was just dead. Like I went into the chicken coop and she died in her sleep. No signs of sickness at all. Like not sick. The day before that night, I put her to bed. No runny nose, no swollen eyes, no coughing, no sneezing, no like nothing. Nothing was wrong with this chicken. Absolutely nothing wrong with this chicken. Just dead. And this was when I first got chickens and I didn't really understand chickens, but chickens can have a heart attack. They can. And so all I can figure is Banjo had a heart attack and died. And I walked in there that morning to see Banjo dead, and I lost it. And I haven't had a buff Brahma since. If you're not a chicken person, you don't know what a Brahma is. A Brahma is buff is kind of like a buff color, like between a tan and a brown, it's buff, but Brahmas have feathered feet. So they're absolutely gorgeous. As a matter of fact, I have some, they're called light Brahmas. Y'all have seen them in videos. They're white and they have black lacing on their neck and they have feathered feet. Those are called white Brahmas. A buff Brahma is just like that, but it's buff and it has black lacing on its neck and it has feathered feet. Beautiful. So you'll meet Banjo and Fred. It's like as if I gotten older, my eyelashes are janked up. And when I put on mascara, it looks like a kindergartner. I don't know. It's like I don't know how to put on makeup anymore. I'm just not good at it. See, I get it all up under my eyes, and then I just don't even care. Say it's like I don't even care. The other chicken, they just showed me pictures of the chickens, and it looked like the other chicken was one of the other chickens. It looked like a lavender Orpington, but I couldn't really tell. And I have several lavender Orpingtons. They're like a lavender color. They don't have feathered feet, but they're beautiful. And I do have kind of a pet lavender Orpington. I had this lavender Orpington back in the day, and her name was Susie Q. And she used to run to me to put her to bed. Like all the other chickens would go to bed, and she wouldn't go to bed. When she would see me, she would run to me to pick her up to put her to bed. I've had a lot of pet chickens. I don't know what to do with this nappy head of mine. I love pet chickens. Yesterday, I was filming and I was out there with the chickens and they were eating apples and it was so cute. Oh my gosh. Shane had a talk with me about the financial end of my farm. And he was like, "You're just upside down. You won't listen to me." And I'm like, what are you wanting me to do that I'm not doing? He was like, "You're not profitable. You're just," and I'm like, I do care about profit. Don't get me wrong. I wish, that my farm was profitable and I made money that I didn't have to wake up at night worrying about how to pay for my chickens. You know what I mean? Like, because I will, but I worry a lot. And sometimes I can't sleep at night because this time of year, I don't really do tours and field trips. So there's no money coming in at all this time of year. And I get stressed out. So the only money that I have coming in is what I make off social media. And I get really stressed out. And sometimes I'll lay in the bed at night stressed out. And he was like, "You've got to quit doing that, Judy. You've got to get more profit." I said, "What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?" And he said, "I want you to start breeding your chickens." He goes, "You need to put them in a pen to keep them purebreds and breed them." And I'm trying to listen to him, but I don't like him. You know what I mean? Like, I, what I mean is, and I don't know if this makes sense to y'all. Just bear with me. I don't enjoy my chickens being in a pen. I don't enjoy that. It's boring. I like the chickens running everywhere. I like the chickens when I walk out to the chicken yard. I like all the chickens to run to me. I like to sit down in the middle of the chicken yard and all the chickens are around me. I don't enjoy breeding and selling chickens. That's not what I enjoy. I don't. But I do have to pay for this, right? And I'm really struggling because half the time that Shane tells me something, he's right. And I don't like that he's right. I want to be right, okay? And I'm like, surely there's something out there for me. Like, why can't I have what I want? Say it. Like, why can't I have this farm with all these animals? And why can't I have my chickens running all over the yard like I like, but make money at it? Like, I get what Shane's saying. So this is what I did. I was like, okay, I'll stick them in pens. That's what I said. I'll stick them in pens and I'll breed them. And I'll sell dang chickens. And I did last year when all that happened with the USDA. I went and spent money on incubators and I incubated eggs like wildfire last year. And I did sell a lot and I was profitable selling chickens. But y'all, look, and I realize I'm different. I am aware that I don't think like other people. I'm aware of that. But go with me with this. This is what happens with me, okay? Is like, I raise these chickens, all right? And I get them, let's just say where they're teenagers, all right? And then someone calls me and they say, "Do you have any chickens for sale?" And this is what happens to me. I'm like, "No." I'm not selling them. Or I say, Because if Shane's sitting beside me, I have to say, yes, I have chickens for sale. And what happens is these people pull in my driveway and my anxiety goes in high gear because this is what I do. Are they going to take care of them? Do they understand? Do they know how to treat them? If they get sick, do they know what to do? Like, have they done their homework? Like, I go into scared that my chickens are not going to be taken care of. Like me. Are y'all going to like, it's like I want to interview people and I want to go, before you get my chickens, are you going to name them? Are you going to let them in the kitchen when you're baking cookies? Are you going to treat them? Are you going to put them to bed at night? What's going to happen when you go on vacation? Who's going to take care of your chickens? Are you going to be one of those people that just put out feed and water for a week and hope that they do their best? Because if so, you're not getting my chickens. Like, I am just very, I'm very picky when it comes to my animals. Like, I'm just, that's like when Taterbug was born. Taterbug's my alpaca. He'll be 3 years old. When he was born, Shane goes, we're not keeping him. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane. He's like, Judy, we're not keeping him. You cannot have another alpaca. And I'm like, okay. Okay. I'm not keeping him. Have you found a home for him? Nobody wants him. And I cannot do it. That's why I had to stop breeding. Because when she had her babies, and I started training those baby pigs to kiss me and stuff like that. And then people would go, do you have any pigs for sale? And I knew I couldn't keep them, right? I can't keep 8 piglets. I already have 3. And I'm like, yes. And then they come in the driveway and I'm like, oh, are they gonna train them to sit? Are they like, what are they doing with this? Are they gonna eat them? Like, it's like scary. It's like, oh my gosh, are they gonna put it? Because Cooney coons, you can eat Cooney coons. Potbellies are not good to eat, but a Cooney coon, people do breed them for food. So I start getting all paranoid. I'm like, oh my gosh. So you know what I did? Another thing I did is when the piglets were little, I went and had them fixed. I sure did, because I didn't want people breeding them, because then what happens is there's piglets everywhere and it's just not good. So like I went and fixed them. But I will say that my piglets went to a good home. My hair is ridiculous, but I don't enjoy it. And so I get where I don't want people taking my chickens. I'm putting my hair back up. And so, but I do have to pay for this, right? But I'm trying to figure things out. Like, I Shay's like, Judy, you you're going backwards. But I'm having fun. And I am going backwards. I'm spending my own money, but it's like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I don't care. Like, I'm rich in my head. Like, I love what I do so much that, like, I don't want to go broke. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to just go totally upside down with my farm and not be able to pay for my feed. But you know what? God provides every single month. Every single month. I've never gone I started in 2020 with chickens. I do it every month. I, I do it every month. God provides. And so, like, a part of me just goes, Shane, just go hunt. Quit worrying about me. You go find something else to do. Quit worrying about me and my chickens. Well, you need to cut back on your chickens, Judy. You need to go get in the woods and worry about your deer. How much money do you spend at hunting? Okay. Well, I know. I know how much you spend just to lease that land. Thousands, thousands of dollars. So you stay in your lane and I'll stay in my lane. I'm a smart girl. I'm a smart girl. I am. That sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm a survivor. Like, you can't beat me. like I'm a survivor. And in my head, when there's something that I want, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I always do. I've never, that's what I told Shane. I said, have I ever let you down? Have I ever stopped working? Have I ever gotten lazy? No. And the reason is because Snead's Farmhouse is something that was created just for me. Just God put this in my face for me, for my mental health. That's a little flashy. For my mental health, for the people on YouTube, that the people that need to love on animals. God put this here for them. God put this here for me. Because 95% of the time, Shane, you ain't even home. So I got to have something to do, right? And God provides every single month. And I know, as long as I know in my heart that this farm was not started by me. I've never wanted a chicken. And I know in my heart, I think Shane's coming in. I know in my heart that if I keep my nose clean, meaning I do not get a big head and go, look what I've done. Look at me. Look how many followers I have. Look how many field trips I've got. Look how many. If I make it about me, I know it will happen because I didn't do any of this. I'm not this great warrior. I can't do it without God. I'm here to tell you right now, I'd be depressed in the bed every day. I can't do it without God. And I think as long as I keep my focus on the real reason behind my farm, which is this farm is on a mission to help people to dance. Is that a little too much? But we don't care today. My farm is on a mission to hold people's hand and get them to be the best version of themselves. That is my mission. And as long as I keep my eye upon Him, meaning God, I feel in my heart that God will continue to bless this farm every single month. And I will tell you that He has for the past 6+ years. And I told Shane, I said, you need to sit back and trust. You need to trust God and His hand. If He takes this all away from me, If he took every animal, this whole farm, all my backup dancers, if he took it all away from me, I'm going to trust him. I've trusted him since day one. And I believe in my heart that God has a plan for Snead's Farmhouse. So you just love me and be behind me because I believe in my heart that Snead's Farmhouse is making a difference. Not Jody, not me, not anything that I'm doing, but God through my mouth, God through my heart, God through my actions, God through my hard work. God is all over this farm. And when something is started upon him and not me, it can't be destroyed. This wasn't my idea. I've never wanted a petting zoo. I've never wanted a pig. I've never wanted a cow, a chicken. I mean, my dream was not to clean out chicken coops. That's not my passion. This farm was started by God. And I believe in my heart and in my soul, if I continue to make this farm about Him, He will continue to provide every single month. And I believe that. And the days that I get distracted, which is common, the days I stay up at night and worry, that's not from God. That is the devil sneaking into this brain of mine, trying to disrupt my sleep. And sometimes it works. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a human being. But at the end of the day, as soon as I calm down and rest my brain and go, okay, Judy, laying up worrying about this is not being the best version of yourself. Laying up worrying about this is not trusting in your creator. Has he provided for you? Have you ever done without? No. As soon as I think, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? God always provides. And that's what keeps my strength going. And even when I'm surrounded by people telling me, you're upside down, you're not doing, in my head, I know what that farm does for me and other people. And part of being the best version of yourself is knowing your purpose in life. And in my heart and in my soul, my purpose in life is to spread His goodness because God has been so good to me. He's changed my life. And I believe in my heart that you guys that have been with me for a while, you've seen the change in me. And you know that I'm just this little peon girl in Coleman, Alabama, that's just trying to put the right dancing shoes on to dance. I'm just a sinner and a train wreck just like everybody else. Total train wreck every morning. That's me. But God in me gives me the strength to get up and keep putting one foot in front of the other and going, okay, we got this. We got this. Because I will tell you, the doctor Wednesday, when I got my stitches out, he was like, listen to me. I said, okay. He goes, I just took your stitches out, but that doesn't mean that your stitches internally are healed. Your stitches internally will not dissolve for 60 days. It's only been 2 weeks, Judy. So if you get out there and do a bunch of bending and lifting, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to be in the ER getting stitched back up. And I'm like, I thought in my head, I'm here by myself. How am I going to do this? How am I going to not pick anything up and not be careful bending? But you know what? When you love what you do, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. And I did. And I got through it. because I'm a smart little cookie and I know I've got to take care of myself because at the end of the day, it's me. I love you guys. Thanks for dancing with me this morning. I appreciate you guys being here. And what is today? Friday? I have a video coming out Saturday. And thank you for supporting my farm. And thank you for supporting me. And thank you for helping me be the best version of myself because each one of you helped me. Love you guys. Bye.